What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another RaidShadowLegends video. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. You might notice something different here. I shaved my beard, guys. I have shaved my beard. It's now down to a more manageable, smooth, well, not smooth, but, you know, slightly less scruffy look. So, yeah, I decided, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of having a big beard. Maybe I'll grow it out again. Maybe not, but that's what's been going on with me. I hope that you've been doing well, doing fun things with the people that you love, per usual. But man, there have been some big changes in Raid that I have to make a video on. And I thought, why not do a little guide, a Kraken's guide to Chaos Dust and Chaos Powder. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to best utilize these new resources in the game because they have completely changed the game. And it's very easy to screw this up, I think. So before we get into that, let's just talk about the system as a whole. I think this is one of the biggest wins that Plarium has had from a player perspective since maybe Clan Boss went full auto. And I think it's important to note, like, obviously I'm a pay to win guy. I'm a dirty pay to win player, and I'm a Kraken, and I do arena and I do PvP. So I'm looking at this through the lens of someone who puts a priority on that. But even if I weren't, even if I were a lower spender who was still someone who had been in the ecosystem and been in the game for years, I would look at this as such a massive win because realistically, it reduces RNG. And to me, anything that reduces RNG is a huge win for the player base. So thank you, Plarium. What an unexpected surprise to find out that you could rework artifacts an infinite number of times and just pay more Chaos Dust or Chaos Powder. I never would have guessed that. I didn't think they would let you rework Ascensions at all. I didn't think they were ever going to do that. So the fact that they not only allow you to rework Ascensions so that you can get much better pieces and improve your champion strengths, but that you also can do it more than once so you don't get screwed is incredible. I'm so happy with this. It genuinely changed the game, has given me a reason to farm dungeons again, which is awesome. I just think this is a wonderful change. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Maybe you disagree with me, especially if you are newer to the game. Obviously, this isn't going to help you, or even if you are a mid-tier account, it's not going to help you because they've locked this beyond level 25. That would be maybe my one complaint, is that I wish it wasn't so insanely difficult to get these materials, because I have put quite a bit of energy into both Sand Devils and Shoguns, and it is shocking how hard or how low the drop rates are for this stuff. So anyway, just my overall thoughts. I think it's a win. I'm really happy with it. But let's talk about this from the perspective of how can you make sure this benefits your account the most? What should you be farming? Where should you be spending your energy, your hard-earned energy? And then what pieces should you be upgrading? Well, first and foremost, obviously you have two choices here. You've got Sand Devils and you got Phantom Shoguns. For 99.9% of the player base, you are going to be spending the vast majority of time, in my opinion, in Sand Devils. And the reason for that is because the Chaos, dust, I think, or power, yeah, the Chaos Dust that you get here allows you to increase the strength of your champions significantly more than the Chaos Powder you get from Phantom Shogun's Grove. And it's not really close. It's not that you shouldn't do both. It's just that the majority of your energy should be put into Sand Devils. Because when we look at what you can change with the Chaos Dust from Sand Devils, it's all of the artifacts. And it's bottom row artifacts, right? This is the stuff that you, like, when you had a bad ascension in the past, you just, like, oh, it sucked the life out of you, right? Because you knew you were leaving so much power on the table. Well, now you don't have to. So you should farm Sand Devils way more than Shoguns. And then in terms of what you should prioritize, and we're going to go through all this, obviously you're prioritizing the bottom row of artifacts. These are going to be the artifacts that give you the most bang for your buck. So gloves, chests, boots, this is the stuff you want to start with when it comes to actually utilizing this Chaos Dust. But of these three, what do you start with out of those, right? Well, I would argue that you might see the most benefit from upgrading your nukers, and specifically from looking at your gloves. And the reason why I would say this is that typically when you're looking at gloves, you're looking at usually like crit damage or, you know, whatever else for nukers, you're looking at that. And the thing is that there are many different stats that you could hypothetically change on gloves that will still be acceptable in a reroll, because you can get crit damage percentage, you can get crit rate, you can get attack percentage, HP percentage, defense percentage. All of those are viable for gloves depending on the type of nuker you are looking to build. So I personally say start with gloves. Start with gloves, then maybe move to boots, because you can get speed. So that's again useful along with the percentage stats. And that's again why you're choosing the bottom row first, is you're getting percentage stat increases, which are massive, as opposed to flat stats, which are a lot lower. Or if you're looking at accessories, again, all of these are flat stat improvements as well, as opposed to percentage, which is why you're farming Sand Devils more than you're farming show guns. So how do you go about choosing these pieces, right? We talked about gloves and then maybe boots and then chest pieces. But one of the first things I thought when I was going through this, once they unveiled this system, is, okay, I'm looking at this from the perspective of I want to improve the strength of my arena teams. You guys watch me play live arena. Obviously, there are champions I use more than anything else because they are the meta. We've seen this. So what I did was I actually looked through the gear on some of my strongest champions. So I went, for example, to Georgid. I use Georgid all the time. And I thought, you know what? I bet I can make Georgid's gear better. Because the thing is, the teams that you're using in arena typically are going to be the teams that already have some of your strongest gear on them. And if you can identify the pieces there that don't have ascensions or have the wrong ascension, those are the things you could immediately try to change. And so that's exactly what I did. I went in here, I went to a chest piece, and I got an attack percentage ascension. This was, I think, resistance before, or something completely useless. Well, I got lucky. I got this in the first roll. I couldn't believe it. And I did the same thing, weirdly enough, for my crit damage, amulet here. So obviously these are all reaction pieces, and we'll go over that in a little bit, but trying to find like your best champions and see where like the pieces of gear you already have on them, super easy way to increase strength right off the bat. You don't have to spend silver to remove or change gear. You're already making them stronger. And I saw a massive power increase for this Georgian. 12% more crit damage, 20% more attack, which correlates to about 300 plus more attack. That's a big, big change. So start with your nukers, but start specifically with the arena teams that you are looking to improve, because they are already going to be built in your best gear. Another example, Duchess. Where's my Duchess? I just did a video on World's Strongest Duchess, and a lot of people are like, yeah, that's a good Duchess, but I've got a better one. Here's the build. Awesome, cool. Glad they shared it. So I changed some things around this build with the fact that I was able to change ascensions, and now I've got HP percentage on the chest, and I've got HP percentage with speed. This is something I took off somebody else, but it also ascended HP. And I also reworked the ascensions on all, or not all of this, but some of the gear down here as well, because I really wanted to make her significantly stronger. And so now way, way, way more HP than she had before. Still really good defense. Would love to get the speed up with some glyphs, but overall, this is a really, really, really super tanky Duchess. And it all happened because I was able to change to HP percentage on these items. Really important to note, if you go in here to rework any of this stuff and you don't get it on your first, second, or maybe third try, do not keep rolling. The cost goes up so much, and it is absolutely not worth it for the normal player. You should try this once, maybe twice. If you don't get it, move on to another piece. Remember, the goal is to try to increase the strength of everybody you're using, whether it's PvE or PvP or just gear in general. And you're going to find a much larger benefit from going to other pieces as opposed to trying to chase the perfect piece on one hero. The exception to this is if you are a mega Kraken like me. That would be the one time that you're going to have an exception to this, because at that point you really don't care that you're spending a massive amount of resources. But for the normal, non-crazy, non-ultra whale Kraken, just don't do it. It's not worth it. And here's an example. Like this Harima chess piece, I would love to have it hit defense percentage on the Ascension, or even HP percentage. I haven't gotten it. And look, the cost for me to do it again, 8 of these freaking things. You know how long it takes to farm 8 of these? I mean, I calculated it out and I was getting roughly between 15, 16, 17, maybe as many as 20 of these chaos dust per hour from the Sand Devil. And like my Sand Devil team is about a minute 20 to a minute 45. So it's not super fast. So for me, that's what I was working with. So 8 is a lot. 8 is a lot. This is a really big ask. Now I will end up re-rolling this at some point. I'm not going to do it right now. Just kidding. I'm a Kraken. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, damn it. No. One more, because that is truly useless and I can't have that on. One more. Come on. Defense. Yes. I'll take HP percentage. I'll take it. Okay. Don't do what I just did. Do you see how much it costs to rework? Don't be like me. Don't do it. Now I will do it because I'm a goofy Kraken, but you should not spend it on other pieces. You will still get massive improvements in stats, even if you don't get it on the one piece you've been hoping of. You can always circle back around to that specific piece. Now let's also talk the perspective of where you're at in the game and whether or not you should ascend or change the ascensions on top row pieces. If you are not an endgame arena player, you should not be wasting any of this powder, any of this dust on top row pieces. Just straight up, you shouldn't do it. The only exception to that, if you're not an endgame arena player, is if you are trying to beat a very, very specific stage of content. Let's say, for example, you need a champion to have more HP and you've built them in your best gear, and you know that if you get that ascension, it will allow you to do that content. That is the only time you should screw around with this top row. It is not worth it otherwise. Now, if you are an endgame Kraken, you absolutely should change the top row. You 100% should, because it gives you way more stats than you would believe that matters in an arena perspective. Just look at this. I did this entire top row and I got an additional 3,672 additional HP just from this top row. And I did my accessories here as well. And look, I'm adding somewhere in the neighborhood of, this was already like this, so I can't count this, but I redid this one, I believe, in this one, or at least one of these. I'm adding potentially 5,000 to 6,000, 7,000 more HP. That's a big freaking deal if you're an endgame Kraken fighting an arena. So if you're trying specifically to climb arena and you have an endgame account, do not ignore top pieces. The other reason why is it's relatively cheap to re-roll these things, right? And the reason why I say it's relatively cheap is, look, you've only got 2 options it could re-roll to. So you've got a 50% chance of getting the one you want. And even if you don't, even for example, if I wanted defense on this and I was already sitting on attack, right? So this used to be an attack piece, Ascension, and then I re-rolled it and I landed HP was what I wanted. But even if I got defense is still useful for every champion, right? Attack is not, but defense is useful and HP is useful for every single champion. So all of your arena teams, if you are endgame, if you are trying to climb, don't ignore the top row. Don't ignore accessories. It is very useful to have additional HP to keep champions alive, or additional defense, especially in the context of the fact that a lot of nukers are going to get harder. They're going to be harder hitting now. So, okay. You've done Sand Devils, you got your stuff, you've worked on your nukers, you've gone gloves, boots, attack, chest, whatever. And again, you can search these things as well. If you don't just want to look at your best champions, obviously just filter through this stuff, go to equipped, and literally just put on something like attack percentage. And then what I would put on is for substats is crit rate, speed, maybe crit damage, and see like what are my close to perfect pieces that I've got here, not for gloves, but like for boots, right? And I would start with that, you know what I mean? Or maybe I take off crit damage and I go with this and I say priority, the things that have super high crit rate on attack percentage stuff. Like, and then it's going to show me here, like, okay, look, this is one I could absolutely rework. It's attack percentage with a crit rate, but it's got a res thing. Let's rework this right now. Why not? Let's see what we get. Obviously, we want attack percentage here. Would be ideal. We got flat defense. I'll give it one more roll. And then I'm not going to screw around with it anymore. Okay. I mean, flat attack, better than nothing. Aligns with what we want, but definitely not the attack percentage we wanted to. I'm not going to re-roll this again. There's no point. I know that this is also a champion that is in my like Fire Knight team, and I don't need him to be any stronger. But also, let's talk about gear sets. I should have mentioned this before. What gear sets should you be prioritizing? Well, it's the same stuff that you do for normal things, right? It's speed, it's savage, it's lethal, it's stone skin. It's, if you have the gear, merciless, for sure, because obviously that set is nutty. But the same kind of stuff that you would be prioritizing normally, perception, you're going to be prioritizing here with these ascension rerolls. Same kind of stuff. OP gear sets, don't waste it on stuff you don't need. Don't waste it on curing sets or any of that crap. Put it in the sets that are actually going to make a difference. Okay, let's quickly talk about the bottom row here. So obviously I just said if you're doing endgame arena, you still want to do this, it's still worth it, you get benefit. If you are not endgame arena, this is worth doing, but specifically if you are looking to get, in my opinion, only one of three things, which is more resistance, more accuracy, or more crit damage. With crit damage, I think being maybe, well, I'd say maybe accuracy being the best of those, and then maybe crit damage second and resistance third. So really you should only be doing banners and amulets, since the banner is what gives you additional accuracy, gives you additional resistance. And then obviously the amulet has the potential to give you additional crit rate, or excuse me, crit damage. So that's why I say you don't farm Shogun as much, because the benefits you're getting here are relatively small. And again, if you're not endgame arena, this isn't going to make a massive improvement to your champions most of the time. There are always exceptions to this, right? Like maybe you're really trying to push arena. Maybe you really want to try to push your champions. And in those cases, sure, go nuts, go for it. But as a general rule of thumb, if you're not arena focused, you're not going to want to use this here. You're going to want to prioritize this here. So again, start with nukers. Go to, I would say, then your debuffers afterwards. So your lockout champions, Warlord, Yumiko, your Kaimars that might debuff. Try to do their artifacts next. And then I would say finish with your supports. So your Duchesses, your Sifis, etc. And actually we're going to do, I think I've got one here to do quickly. So yeah, so this would be something right here that if you're not arena, you're not going to like, why would you reroll this? You know what I mean? But because I'm endgame arena, an extra 1200 freaking HP would be really nice. I am going to reroll this. Let's do it. Come on. Come on, HP. Yeah, baby. Yeah, boy hitting the jackpot. Perfect. That's an extra 1200 HP. I will take that all day, every day. What are stats at right now? Yes. Look at this. Oh, HP. I could hypothetically reroll this, but I'm not going to because it's not really worth it. It's not a triple speed roll. Defense is still helpful. And I don't want to waste the freaking ore. But I did already reroll this and we got HP percentage. Didn't reroll this. This is already like this. So anyway, this is just a general guide as to how to approach using this stuff. It is truly, truly game changing. The level of power that I have seen increase on champions already is massive. It has made such a big difference on my champions, mainly on my Duchess, because the stone skin gear I had here had some of the worst ascensions. I just got so unlucky, and to be able to come back through and redo it and get this kind of result for HP, where I was at, I think like when I made that video the other week, I think I was at like 116 HP. Now I'm sitting at 139. I'm also not even in plat arena right now. So this is actually higher when I'm in plat. That's a massive, massive difference. And it all came from being able to redo ascensions. Man, what a freaking win. I am so jazzed by this, guys. This is like exactly what the game needed. It needs a lot of other stuff too, obviously, but this is such a big win. God, look at how excited I am. Isn't this, Plarium, if you watch this video, and you probably won't, but if you did, look at the excitement that I have. Look at the amount of energy I've spent grinding Sandalvo over the last 3 or 4 days, right? These are the kind of changes that we need. This is a win. This is good. This is good overall. This gives people a place to go. Again, I know that this is an end game focused achievement. I am not going to sit here and pretend it's not. But realistically, at this point, most people in Raid have played the game for quite some time. And I would say that having something to aspire to is never a bad idea. Do I still think that the dungeon shouldn't be locked to level 25, that you should be able to get a little bit of chaos dust on level 24? Yes, I do. Frankly, I think this should be like 1 chaos dust here, and then maybe 2 to 3 or 2 to 4 here, or maybe like 1 to 2 here, 2 to 4 here is what I would like to see. But you know what? For the first time in a long time, I can confidently say from my perspective, this is a W that I didn't expect and one that I'm grateful to have. So we're starting 2020. I can't even say the words. We're starting 2024 off with a bang. Thank you, Plarium. Please work on other quality of life improvements in the game. You know what you need to do. We've all made videos, the CCs, the market, the freaking altar of souls, the guardian ring, the token trader, all the stuff. Please put this on your agenda for this year, because this kind of improvement is what gets people hyped, especially the people that have been playing for a long time. So anyway, just in general, guide, I think I covered pretty much everything around it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, I think I got most of it. You know, if you guys will let me know in the comments if I forgot something. But again, if it were me, start with your strongest champion, start with your bottom row pieces, gloves, boots, chest. Also, keep in mind, if you're doing boots, look for speed, and look for example, in your speed set, look for stuff that has maybe super high accuracy, right? Like, use the artifact filter, guys, to find your best pieces and improve them. In some cases, they may already be on somebody. On other cases, maybe there's something like this where you could absolutely re-roll this. Hell yeah, let's re-roll it. Just one more bonus one. We got a double accuracy there and some resistance on a speed boot. Sure, why not? Give me speed, baby. Hey, give me HP percentage. Definitely better than flat attack, right? Oh, what a great system. I can't believe they actually did this. Incredible. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you think this is as much of a win as I think it is, because it certainly has me hyped, and I can't wait to see the incredible gear pieces I get from this. Maybe I'll do a giant re-rolling video. Who knows? You guys let me know. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Big Papa Drock out.